Greetings there. This is Rabbi Dr. Oluwafemi. Welcome to class. Today we'll be addressing the biblical Greek and we'll be discussing the subject, verbs. Then just as for the previous class we had the teachings on person and number. I said in Greek we have 5 features of the Greek verb. We have the person, we have the number, we have tense, we have mood, and we have voice. Then we have addressed the person and number in the previous class. In this class we'll be addressing voice. So we'll talk about voice. In biblical Greek we have 4 major voices. However, some didaskalos have opinion that we have 3 voices. I believe we have the active voice, middle, and passive. However, in some textbooks you see the last kind of voice, and that is the deponent voice. So in this teaching, we'll be addressing the 4 major voices. Now, we'll talk about voice in itself. It helps to indicate the relationship between the subject in the sentence and the verb. So it helps to indicate the relationship between the subject of that particular sentence and the verb. And now it's very, very important that we understand the voice. Now, what we talk about the first, I said we have 4 of them. We have active voice, we have middle, we have passive, and we have deponent voice. Alright, so these are 4 major voices that we have in biblical Greek verb. Alright, now we'll talk about this. The first one, I have to understand that the subject is the one doing the action. So in this case, the subject does the action. And we have an example. We have an example like we have luho. Luho, it means I loose or I untie. I loose. You see this in John chapter 1 verse 1, John chapter 1 verse 27, right? When John the Baptist was talking about Jesus Christ, that I'm not worthy to loose his shoe, so I loose or I untie. Alright, so that's the first, and we have another example like hoi ho, which means I make or I do. Now you can see this in John chapter 5 verse 36. Then we also have it in 1 John chapter 3 verse 8a. This is anyone who commits sin is of the devil. So the word commit there or does means poiho. So I make. So all of these are active voice. They are active in form. We have luho, we have poiho. Then we also have encomind, which means I come. Alright. So let's move to the second voice. That is the middle voice. Now in this kind of voice, the action is being consumed upon the subject, or the subject is indirectly affected, is directly affected by the action. For instance, we have a word like luomenos. Luomenos, and it means I am washing myself. I'm washing myself. Luomenos. Now this is similar to what Pilate used in Matthew chapter 27 verse 24. It's similar to what Pilate used when he said, I cannot find anything in Jesus Christ. So then he got a bowl of water and he washed his hands. So he did that by himself. So I am washing myself. So in this kind of voice, the subject is the one consuming that action upon himself, or is directly affected by that action. So we have luomen, that's I am washing myself. We also have another example. We have apokrinomai. You have apokrinomai, and it means I answer for myself. Apokrinomai, it means I answer for myself. You can see this in the book of Matthew chapter 27 verse 12. Matthew 27 verse 12. So I answer for myself. So apokrinomai. Apokrinomai. Also have another example. Another example from another example as agiazomai. This is another word. Agiazomai. Agiazomai. And it means I sanctify myself. I sanctify myself. So all of these are done by the subject and upon himself. So I sanctify myself. Agiomai. So let's move to the third voice, and that is the passive voice. I want to talk about passive voice. Its subject receives the action. It's not the one that is conducting the action. However, he received the action. So we have the word like read. So we have like Eluthin, 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 and it means I was washed. I was washed. I was washed. So in this action, the subject receives the action. So however, it's not the one that conducted the action. That's what we are in First Corinthians chapter 1 verse 6 and chapter 11 verse chapter 6 verse 11. So this let's see another example. We have Krinetai. We have Krinetai, which means he or she or it is judged. He or she or it is judged. He is judged. So that's an example from that particular text. Then let's move finally to the last voice, that is the deponent voice. Now we talk about the deponent voice. There are some words or verbs that take middle or passive form. However, they are active in meaning. So that's what the deponent voice is all about. The deponent voice is about the verbs that in the form they appear as middle or passive. However, they are active in meaning. Alright, so an example of this is we have a toy. Zomai. We have Etoi Mazomai. Etoi Mazomai. It means I prepare myself. I prepare myself. That's an example. We also have an example as Baptizomai. Baptizomai. Baptizomai, we talked about baptizomai. It means I am baptized. I am baptized. So we have other words also.